Yo, what's up and welcome. My name's Harrison Scales and I'm an online fitness coach. And in this video, I wanted to run you through why convenience eating is actually killing your gains in health far more than you realize. Okay, this is going to be a comprehensive guide targeted for 9 to 5 office workers specifically who actually want to maximize their fitness results and improve their overall well-being. Okay, so with that being said, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the convenience trap. What you guys are actually eating. Okay, so the typical office worker's diet consists of foods that are high in sodium, right? They contain saturated fats, they have added sugars, and they're going to be loaded with preservatives and artificial ingredients. Okay, they're going to be calorie dense, but have a low nutrient profile. They're going to be nutrient poor. Okay, and they're also going to be processed to maximize shelf life and not health benefits. That's literally what fast food is, right? And how convenience food is actually going to impact muscle gain. So number one, we have protein deficit. Most convenience meals provide inadequate protein for muscle pair and growth, despite being high in calories. Okay, so number two, we've got insulin resistance. High glycemic fast foods are going to promote insulin resistance, which reduces protein synthesis and hampers muscle development. Number three, we have muscle catabolism. Okay, so underfueling with proper nutrients or poor meal timings can trigger your body to break down muscle tissue for energy. Number four, we have stalled progress, the cumulative effect, right? So reduced strength gains, slower recovery times, and plateaued fitness programs despite working out consistently. Okay. So here's a little bit of science around eating and fat gain. Okay. So high GI foods. So convenience foods spike blood sugar rapidly, okay, which is then going to lead to a surge in insulin. And this is when the body produces an excess amount to manage the blood sugar that you've just increased from eating the convenience foods. And then as a result, your blood sugar will crash back down, which will then cause a premature hunger, which obviously then leads to you eating more, cravings, fat gain, right? Things like that, right? So then you're gonna have an excess amount of calories stored as fat, especially around the abdomen. Okay. So the hidden health risks about convenience meals. Okay. So metabolic damage, right? You are at increased risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes from the frequent blood glucose spikes. Okay. As well as that cardiovascular strain, right? With the elevated blood pressure and high cholesterol from high sodium and trans fats that are commonly found in convenience foods. Okay. And then chronic inflammation. Loads of the ingredients, such as sugar and just the carbs, right, can actually trigger inflammatory responses that impair recovery, reduce energy levels, and actually increase your soreness. Literally harm and prevent your recovery process. So why meal timing and quality actually matters for office workers. So the office workers dilemma, right? You're going to be dealing with some of these things. Okay, so you have meetings that are going to disrupt optimal meal timing. You're going to be stressed out, right? You're going to have things to do, and that's obviously going to take priority. And stress is going to obviously lead to poor food choices in most cases, or some cases. Okay, desk work encourages mindless eating and snacking, and then as well as that, the commutes limit food preparation time. So you guys need to be treating nutrition with the same importance as your work meetings so you can actually take your health seriously, escape that plateau, and transform your life and actually start seeing real results. Okay. So here are some practical tips and swaps that you can make for convenience to replace with healthy benefits and snacks. Okay. So Sunday meal prep, right? So each Sunday, I'd recommend that you guys spend a couple hours preparing 10 to 15 meals for the week. Okay. So you guys want to focus on lean proteins, complex carbs, and vegetables in proper portions. So, whenever you feel like snacking or grabbing something for convenience, you can actually reach down for one of these Tupperware pots and you still get some high quality food in. Okay. Then smart snack stations. So, instead of, sharing Kit Kats or whatever chocolate snacks you might be having, smart snack stations are a great option, right? You can create snack stations at your desk with protein-rich options like Greek yogurt, nuts, and fruit to combat vending machine temptations, okay? And as well as that, you can do digital nutrition planning. So you guys can use meal planning apps to schedule your nutrition just like meetings, so you can actually dial in and focus on what matters. Okay, so set reminders for meals, hydration, and pre and post workout nutrition, so you aren't missing meals and you're actually fueling your body properly so you can perform both in work and the gym. Okay, so quick wins. Okay, exercise snacks and nutrition hacks. Okay, so here's like a little timeline example about how you can go about implementing this in your day, right? So at 9 a.m., we have start the day with a protein rich breakfast. Maybe earlier than this if you guys are obviously getting up for work. Obviously, ignore the timing slightly. You guys can tweak that best so it best works for you. Okay, so 9 a.m., for example, we'll go with this. Start your day with protein-rich breakfast. Okay, so maybe eggs, sourdough, some Greek yogurt, and some berries, right? For stable sugar. All right, it's gonna leave you feeling satiated, and you're actually gonna be, fueling yourself properly. Then a couple hours later, you guys can take a 2 minute stair climb, right? Get a little bit of exercise in, plus an additional protein snack, like some nuts or something, maybe a protein bar, right? Okay, to boost your metabolism. Then a couple hours after that, you can eat the lunch that you then prepped on Sunday away from the desk and then followed by a 10-minute walk to help digestion. Okay. Another couple hours after that, 3 p.m., you can then do 5 bodyweight exercises, plus a complex carb snack within your break or whenever you have a bit of free time. And then, a couple hours after that, for some people, this could be after your work day, you can have a pre-workout snack, right? So pre-workout meal or snack 30 to 60 minutes before the gym so you can actually let it give some time to digest. Honestly, 30 minutes bare minimum, depending on the size of your meal. Obviously, I do recommend you waiting slightly longer, but 32 minutes 30 to 60 as a bare minimum before the gym session. So you guys can actually perform, not feel bloated, not feel ill. Okay, these micro interventions are going to help you prevent the metabolic slowdown that occurs during long periods of sitting down. Okay. So, visualizing your progress. What actually happens when you start eating correct, right? So, you'll have increased energy. Okay. So, average report actually stated that an increase in energy levels after 4 weeks of proper nutrition occurred. Okay. You'll notice an increase in strength gains. All right. You'll have improved strength performance compared to the convenience fast food diet after only 12 weeks. Okay, so you're gonna, like I said, it's gonna help you actually perform and progress in the gym. You'll escape those plateaus and feeling terrible throughout the day. And then fat reduction. Okay, so an average body fat percentage will decrease when switching from convenience foods to healthy whole foods. So the conclusion of this is to take control of your gains and health today, right? You know, how bad you want your fitness goals is going to be monitored by how seriously you take this, right? Like I said, if you guys are willing to prepare, you're willing to think about it and actually schedule these things into your calendar and your program, just like your meetings are, you're going to see an increased amount of gains. You're going to feel better. Your health is just going to be more in check, right? So here are some key points to take away, right? So remember these. Convenience eating creates short-term ease but long-term setbacks. Okay? Your workouts deserve proper nutrition to support so you can actually maximize the effort that you're putting in, increase the intensity, progressively overload, and actually train how you want so you can make the gains that you want and get the results that you want. Okay? So small changes and consistent changes built up together are going to produce drastic results. Okay, you have to start with these small and boring and tedious things and do multiple of them that compound on top of each other so you can actually start making impactful results. Okay, and your body can't outperform nutrition. Okay, it's like putting the wrong fuel into a car, right? No matter how good the car is, it's still not going to be it's still not going to actually how it's intended to. Okay, so that's a little bit about everything. That's about why nutrition is actually killing your gains and slowing down your progress and making you feel terrible. So with that being said, check out the description. I'll put loads of stuff in that. For one-on-one coaching, make sure to, click on the link below. You guys can go book a call with me. Or DM me the word gain on Instagram. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.